if you know me and my channel with optic mounts, there's two things I like. One, American made, and two, vertical mounting clamps. Ah, yes. My experience with anything vertical mount is easy. You lock down the bottom and you cinch up the top and you're done. You see with horizontal mounts, I have it just because I have it here, you're always going to have a bit of a gap. And that gap means you're going to have movement. And movement is a no-no for me. That's partly the reason why I bought these Warn Maxima rings. The other thing, well, these are going to be going on my Steyr Scout. And I needed to have a ring that will actually fit that rail. It's not a standard pick rail. And these are one of the rings that will actually fit it. The other ones that I had on there that you've seen on the channel before, if you watch any of my videos, if not, it's okay, I don't care, are the Leupold QRW and PRW. I like how they look, I like how they feel, but I don't like how they work. You actually have to remove all 4 screws, obviously, to get the cap over the scope. But in the Gen 1s, which were these, hold on, I got Gen 1s, Gen 2s, 2 quick releases, and 1 non-quick release. Yeah, this is the Gen 2, this is the Gen 1. If I put these side by side, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. So, lined up at the bottom and the middle, and you can see the Gen 1s, which are these. Yes, this is the Gen 1. The top clamp actually has to get spread out as you put it on the scope, and you could mark up the scope. I did not like these whatsoever. Again, you're going to have a bit of a gap in there, and you have to worry about the scope doing one of these little shimmies. I'm actually shimmying my butt, but you can't see it because I'm not on camera, so there you go. Anyway, I'll leave those off to the side. These have a slightly thinner than standard thickness on the T-slot. And what that allows for is for it to fit on a Steyr Scout. Same thing with the Warn rings. So that is why I picked these up. Whoa, everything's falling out. Now, unfortunately, I had to go with medium height, but I think that's going to be perfectly fine because I'd rather a little bit extra clearance with the bolt knob versus the scope. And, you know, why not? I will pull the scope out. Gen 1 PST 2.5 10 by 32. This is a phenomenal scope, which there is going to be a full review coming on this soon. I've actually had this mounted on the gun now for a couple of years, I think since before I started the channel, and it's an absolute peach of an optic. So what do we have? Well, we have 2 scope rings, 30mm tube, and these are medium heights. Quick release lever on the side is just like on the Leupolds, fantastic. You get it to where you want it, and you can pull this back, and you can clock this on the hex nut. You see that right there? So you can clock this lever however you want. Really nice feature, because if this thing's going down like that and you have it right where your bolt's going to come up, guess what? You can't work your bolt. So great little feature right there, but that's nothing new. And here we go. So you have 4 screws. The 2 shorter ones go up top, the 2 longer ones go at the bottom. Split the bottom. Be careful not to lose the key. So, as you can see, this is removable and replaceable. It locks in here like so, and only goes one way. So you have this notch over here for the quick release side, and this V over here for the standing side. Goes in like so. It doesn't really lock in there, but it holds itself in there fairly well. And then this, you get this over here like that, and then Bob's your uncle, which is ironic because I do have an uncle named Bob. Anyway, you get this in there like so, you put the 2 screws in, and then you lock up the bottom, and then your top is going to be the one doing all the clamping onto your scope. You know what? I'm sure someone's going to ask for the weight. These are a bit heavy, I am sad to say. You know, I'll take the ones fully assembled. Granted, I'm building my Scout to be as lightweight as possible, but there's no real lighter rings that are, to me, affordable. These are, like I said, about 80 bucks. They do offer, I think, specific ones from Steyr that are like almost 200. It's ridiculous. But all told, they're about 6 ounces, which is a little bit heavier than I wanted on here. You know, the Leupolds are definitely lighter by about a full ounce, but so I got to deal with what I got to deal with. All right, Warn Ring ReZero test. We have the Gen 1 Vortex 2.5 to 10 by 32. Right now it is tight, so I'm going to loosen the front, loosen the rear. You can see We got some movement. I'm going to push forward, snug them both up, and then just give them as tight of a twist as I can. That's a perfect 0. Let's loosen them up again. As you can see, move it back and forth. We're going to push forward, snug up the rear, the front, and then twist them as hard as I can. And that's perfect. Holy cow. All right, last one. Ow. You can really get a lot of leverage on these guys. So you can see that. Boom, 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 boom. Forward, snug up the rear just a touch, snug up the front, and then lock them up. And boom. Absolutely perfect performance out of a set of rings. Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. An absolute perfect performance from, in my opinion, a set of perfect rings. Not only do they look absolutely fantastic, but they feel fantastic, and as you see, they work absolutely perfect. If you're in the market for some quick detachable rings that are American made, work perfectly well, and come in around 80 bucks, look no further. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and as always, see you again next time. And a very huge thank you to all of my Patreon providers. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. If you'd like to help support the channel but don't want to join my Patreon, I completely understand. But you can still help support by using my affiliate links in the description below. Thanks again for watching.